you're on this carnivore diet
Yes.
now.
Okay, so I want to preface that with something. I am not a dietary expert, so I'm now
Right.
speaking as an uninformed citizen.
Yes.
Right.
Well, this is anecdotal evidence from a human being that
Yes.
has dealt with autoimmune issues
Yes.
your whole life.
Yes.
You have done this for how long now?
I've been on a pure carnivore diet for about 2 months and a very, very low carb, greens only, modified carnivore diet for about a year.
So in the year,
And a low carb diet for 2 years.
so from the time that I've known you for what, 2.5 years now, something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
When I first met you, you had much more weight on your body.
Yeah.
You looked different.
Yeah.
And you were, back then you were eating like the standard diet, right? Like normal people do.
Yes.
Pasta, bread, meat,
Yes.
chicken, whatever.
Yes.
Right? You shifted over to only meat and greens. I saw you and I'm like, you look fantastic. I'm like, what are you doing? And you're like, I changed my diet. I only eat meat and greens. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's fascinating. Well, I felt like, okay, what you're doing is cutting out refined sugars and all these
Yeah.
different things that are problematic, preservatives, all the bullshit, processed foods. And you're having this extreme health benefit. And I was like, wow, that's really excellent. You're showing great discipline. Then you decided to take it to another place and cut out the greens.
Yeah, I know.
What was the motivation for cutting out the greens?
Well, all of the motivation for this has been my experience with my daughter because she has an unbelievably serious autoimmune disease. I just talked to her this
what is
morning.
it called?
Well, it's arthritis. And my wife always had a suspicion that this was dietary related. You know, and
Why?
Well, we did notice that when Michaela was young, if she ate oranges or strawberries, that she'd get a rash. Like there were, and then when she developed arthritis, if she ate oranges in particular, that would definitely cause a flare. It was the only thing we could see. The problem is that in order to identify a dietary component, the response has to be pretty quick after you eat the thing. Like if it's 2 days later, how the hell are you going to figure that out?
Right.
A lot of these responses appear to be delayed for 4 days and last a month. So good luck figuring that out. And she thought, oh, it must be stress. And then she thought, wait a second, I really changed my diet. When I'm studying, all I do is eat bagels. All I do is eat bread, sandwiches. She thought, maybe it's the bread. So she cut out gluten first. And it had a remarkable effect, like a really remarkable effect. And then she went on a radical elimination diet all the way down to nothing but chicken and broccoli. And then her symptoms started to drop off one by one. Like, and like one of the things that happened is she started to wake up in the morning. She started to be able to stay awake all day. And when you're only staying awake for 6 hours with Ritalin, staying awake all day, that's like having a life. And so a whole bunch of things improved. Then her depression went away. And I've had depression since I was 13 probably, and very severe. And I've treated it a variety of ways, some of them quite successfully. But it's been a constant battle. And my father had it, and his father had it. And it's all just rife in my family. It's like it took her 2 years to figure out that really what she could eat was beef and greens, and then she figured out that she could only eat beef.
So the greens themselves.
Well, look, so what happened? Okay, so 2 years ago she said, Dad, you have to try this diet because you have a lot of the same symptoms as me. Now, I didn't have arthritis, but I had a lot of the other symptoms. And so I went on a really low carb diet. Okay, so this is what happened. I had gastric reflux disorder. And I was snoring quite a lot. I stopped snoring the first week. I thought, what the hell? That's supposed to be associated with weight loss. Because I had gained some weight. I weighed about 212 pounds and I'm about 6'1½". So that was my maximum weight. I stopped snoring, which was a great relief to Tammy. So that just quit. And that's a big deal, right? Because if you snore, you have sleep apnea and then you don't sleep right. And it's like not a good thing. Okay, next. I started waking up in the mornings. I'd never been able to wake up in the mornings my whole life. I always had to stumble to the shower, and then maybe I could wake up. It took me an hour, and I felt terrible. And so all of a sudden I woke up, and it was like, oh, look at that. I'm awake in the morning, and I'm clear-headed, and things aren't gloomy and horrible. It's like, well, isn't that weird? Then I lost 7 pounds the first month. I thought, 7 pounds, that's a lot in a month. And I'd already gone for a whole year on a sugar-free diet, and I didn't lose any weight. And I'd been exercising.
Sugar-free, but did you cut out bread and
No,
gluten?
no, it was just no desserts, no sugar, no. And I thought that might do it. Didn't make any difference at all. 7 pounds. Well, then I lost 7 pounds the next month. Then I lost 7 pounds the next month. I lost 7 pounds every month for 7 months. It's like I had to throw away all my clothes. I went back to the same weight that I was when I was 26. And my psoriasis disappeared. And I had floaters in my right eye, and they cleared up. And then the last thing that went away for me, I was still having a bitch of a time with mood regulation, and that sucked because when I changed my diet, I didn't respond to antidepressants properly anymore. They weren't working. And so although I was getting better physically in a variety of ways, like radical ways, I was really having a bitch of a time regulating my mood, and I was having sporadic, really negative reactions to food when I ate something I shouldn't. So that took about 1.5 years to clear up, and I was still really anxious in the morning up to 3 months ago, like horribly, and then it would get better all day. People said, well, you're under a lot of stress. And I thought, yeah, I've been under a lot of stress for like 10 years. It's like, it's a lot, but it wasn't any more stressful than helping my daughter deal with her illness, that's for sure. That, no, this is something different. And she said to me, quit eating greens. And I thought, oh, really? Jesus, Michaela, I'm eating cucumbers, lettuce, broccoli, and chicken and beef. It's like, I have to cut out the damn greens? It's like, try it for a month. Okay. Within a week, I was 25% less anxious in the morning. Within 2 weeks, 75%. And I've been better every single day. I'm better now probably than I've ever been in my life. And I haven't been taking antidepressants for a whole year. So I don't know what, and I weigh 162 pounds. Like I have no, and I've actually gained musculature. I've been doing some working out, but not a lot. And so I can sleep 6 hours a night, no problem. I wake up in the morning, I'm awake. If I take a 15-minute nap, that used to take me an hour to recover from, that's gone. Here's the coolest thing. I've had gum disease since I was 25. That's been serious enough to have, I've had to have minor surgical interventions, scraping and that sort of thing to keep it at bay. It's gone. I checked with my dentist before this last tour. No inflammation. And that's associated with heart disease, by the way, gum inflammation and gingivitis. It's a good risk factor for heart disease. It means the systemic inflammation is gone. And it's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to recover from gingivitis. And my gums are in perfect shape. It's like, what the hell? So here's what happened. I lost 50 pounds. It's like, that's a lot, right? I'm nowhere near as hungry as I used to be. My appetite's probably fallen by 70%. I don't get blood sugar dysregulation problems. I need way less sleep. I get up in the morning and I'm fine. I'm not anxious. I'm not depressed. I don't have psoriasis. My legs were numb on the sides. That's gone. I'm certainly intellectually at my best at the moment, which is a great relief, especially doing this tour. Depression is gone. I'm stronger. I can swim better. And my gum disease is gone. It's like, what the hell?
And you've done no blood work, so you don't know what your lipid profile is, or
no. I'll get that done again when I go back.
Do you take
to
any
Toronto.
vitamins?
No. I eat beef and salt and water. That's it. And I never cheat, ever. Not even a little bit. Nothing.
Soda, no wine.
I drink club soda.
Well, that's not. It's still water.
Well, you know, when you're down to that level, no, it's not.
So
Look, Joe, there's club soda, which is really bubbly. There's Perrier, which is sort of bubbly. There's flat water, and there's hot water.
So those are your varieties.
Those distinctions start to become important.
That is crazy. Well, we ate last night, and I ate what you ate. We both had that giant tomahawk.
Yeah.
I had wine though.
Yeah.
I'm curious about this. I'm very curious, and I think I might try it. But I eat a lot of vegetables.
Yeah.
But I don't have any problems, like health problems.
Hey, man, like I'm not. Disclaimer number 2: I am not recommending this to anyone. However, I have had many, many people come up to me on the tour and say, "Look, I've been following your daughter's blog, and I've lost like 100 pounds." I think, what? You lost 100 pounds? See, I lost 100 pounds in 6 months. I talked to a woman yesterday. She lost 15 pounds in 1 month. She was 70. It's like, this is, here's a question. Why is everyone fat and stupid? That's a question, man. Because it's new.
Is it?
Yes, it is. It's new. And it's not sedentary lifestyle. That hypothesis doesn't seem to hold water. There's something wrong with the way we're eating. And what's wrong is that we're eating way too many carbohydrates, I think. But remember, I'm no expert.